Murder the spirit of conviction! If you knew what... The Suno's blood is on your hands! You think you're different, but you are wrong! You and Hideyoshi come from the same cloth! Warriors, to me! Is that a threat? No matter.
On how close they are, and you get that extra crit chance on vulnerable enemies, so that goes perfect when you just sprint towards them and vault right over them. Plus restore 30% health on a weak point attack, so you're always getting health back. And this last dance of Anya robe, extra survivability, and then the posture damage after using the ability. You use the tidal wave and then the posture attack, weak point attack, then you're getting health back and doing crazy damage on vulnerability. And if you want to focus on Kusarigama, I like this one because when you're surrounded by enemies, you do 35% more damage, and plus you get the 100% armor piercing critical hits, and you're bound to get some critical hits on that. So it goes very well. It does pretty good damage. And for this one, it's optional a little bit. If you're focusing on the katana side, I would go for vulnerability damage. I use both weapons, so I went with crit damage for the Kusarigama and vulnerability damage for the katana. But if you want to focus only on one, like the katana, then I would say go for maybe this one, Akubi's Laughter. You got extra vulnerability damage, plus all the mastery points in Assassin, and then armor piercing on critical hits. And you got that 30% crit chance also, and that's also not to mention what's in your mastery tree. So add on that, you're gonna have a fat chance of getting a critical hit. So we'll do some really good damage. This is for the katana if you want to focus more on katana, but if you want to focus more on the Kusarigama, then I would say go for Oni's Bite. Get extra critical damage, and then I went with vulnerability damage because I like to use both. So I got the vulnerability damage and the crit damage. So because I use both. But you could also do something like this, Masakado's Vengeance. Extra damage per unspent mastery point, and then the critical damage for the katana. This one works well. So one of these three you can focus on. I do both. I do this one time. I like to mix in both weapons, so it works out very well. Let me show it again. So for mastery, 66. So that's 132 crit damage. Not to mention the mastery tree, and also what's on the weapon and on the trinket itself. So you're putting out like over 300% crit damage, which is crazy. You also want to max out melee weapons, consecutive hits, Sarigama, multiple enemies. You get a buff when you're surrounded by 2 or more enemies, and 18% crit damage. And then you want to max out armor piercing, of course, and crit chance as much as you can. Tools don't really matter. Shinobi, I like to max out the abilities. I need to max out damage over Vault, after Vault. Assassin, this one works with the vulnerability, so I got 79, so I get 75%. Plus that 18%. And damage at night, damage while full health. And for the knowledge tree, I went for extra damage, melee weapon damage, but you really want to focus on posture damage, armor piercing, crit damage, and vulnerability damage. And if you wanna, you can also focus on armor damage as well. I went with just raw damage all around, but I would put it into armor damage as well. So armor piercing and armor damage, you break their armor in a second. Pretty much one hit everything.